So now it's time to clean this huge fish tank again. The fish are looking very happy. Some beautiful tinfoil barbs. That's a happy looking fish. Beautiful phenocylus. Lovely big silver shark. Probably they're looking a little bit skinny now. One thing you want to be reviewing very often is the weight of the fish, because over time I need to make sure that the fish are being fed right. Beautiful morii. So they're just a tad on the skinny side now. Now I did bring some larger size pellets because I'm a little bit conscious that some of the bigger fish will need like a bigger size pellet. And because this is a floating pellet, it shouldn't be getting lost in amongst the rocks. So I'll give them a good feed on this. I'm trying to fatten them up. But the little fish are a little bit on the skinny side too. So I really want all the fish fed more. Looks great from this side. So the first thing I'm going to do today is give the fish a very good feed, because I'm a little bit worried about some of them being skinny. So there's some larger pellets I've just put in. They're obviously not currently familiar with eating off the surface, or they're taking a bit of time to get used to it. Pretty normal considering that up until lately they've pretty much been fed sinking foods, but they'll get the hang of it pretty quick. So combining floating foods and sinking foods is quite a good strategy, because different fish will take a preference to floating or sinking foods. And the floating foods are good because they don't get lost in amongst the rocks so easily. Once again, gives different fish an advantage. Some beautiful strigatus there. A beautiful looking fish. It's the sort of fish make you want to get a fish tank. They're all still going towards the bottom looking for food. So they're still not, they can smell the food and they've gone to the bottom, so they're still not familiar with going to the top yet, but they'll work that out pretty quick. Now the one job I used to hate the most about aquarium cleaning, and actually one of the main reasons why I never wanted to actually be an aquarium service guy. I was always happy selling aquariums, consulting about aquariums, installing aquariums, but I never really liked to clean them, because I just hated cleaning the glass. But since these things have come out, flippers, it basically makes the job I hate the most actually quite an easy job, because I literally just do this, and the razor blade is unbelievably good at just scraping through the algae, and it really doesn't take long at all just to go zoom along. And if you drop the flipper, then it floats, so you just stick it back on. You can easily go around the corners, and you can flip it, and to flip it you just go like this, and now see, that's the felt side. Now the razor blade's up. So if you want to clean it with the felt side, you can. And then if you want to flip it over to the razor blade, it's quite easy to do that. can just go like that. And I can go like this. Look, now I've got the razor blade there. Can easily go around the corner. And it makes the job that I hate pretty easy. So if you're installing a double-sided aquarium like this one, if you can have access panels on both sides, it really makes a difference. It really makes the aquarium easier to service. In this case, they're fixed, and then the other side is openable. So I can open up that side, and I get easy access to this side, but the other side is definitely harder. So where possible, I definitely recommend having both sides of the aquarium accessible. And this one's wonderful the way it's got the mesh, because that allows it to breathe so it doesn't get all condensation-y. So the water quality in this aquarium is quite good. There's basically no ammonia. There's basically no nitrite. There's basically no nitrate. The pH is nice and high. The KH was about 12, so that's about the maximum I want it to be. And then the GH was on the higher side. It was sort of around 20-ish. So I'm going to do a water change today, and I'm not going to be adding any GH salts or KH salts, just because the aquarium doesn't need it. That is something I want monitored on a regular basis. But all in all, the water quality in here is very good. But the fish are a bit thin, so I do want them fed a bit more. Now, because the gravel in this tank was very clean, I've given the fish a very good feed. Also, the belly of a lot of these fish is actually quite skinny. So I really want to see these fish get fattened up. So I've reset the auto feeder on top, and the fish have had a really good feed. I need to watch these bellies, and with a tank with this many fish in it, when you clean the gravel and it's very clean, then you've got to wonder if they're getting enough food. So I've changed the setting on the auto feeder, and it's always a little bit nerving when you only come to a job every couple of weeks and you set something like an auto feeder, because you're not here to monitor on a daily basis. You have to just look at the condition of the fish from visit to visit, and underfeeding the fish is definitely not good. But in saying that, overfeeding the fish is even worse, because if you underfeed fish over a long period of time, they can actually die. But if you overfeed fish, they tend to die very quickly. So that's why increasing the food in a tank that you're not monitoring every day is a little bit nerve-wracking. I never totally trust auto feeders. Now, if you are breeding cichlids, or if you've got cichlids, having rocks with lots of little holes in it is a wonderful way to create little nurseries for your baby fish, because your little baby fish will get into the little holes in the rocks where the bigger fish can't eat them, like this little guy. And this guy could clearly be food for the other fish if they got a good chance to grab him. But because there's lots of little holes in the rocks, he's able to just nip away when he needs to. Most of them will get eaten if the fish breed, but you'll be surprised. You'll get a few little smart ones that manage to survive, especially when there's lots of predators in there that like to put them in their belly. Now, when I'm looking for a fish food for my fish, one of the primary things I'm looking for is how clean the food is. And I'm a big fan of Spectrum's probiotics, because Spectrum's probiotics is a super clean food which has got a probiotic bacteria in the food, which means when the fish poo, the bacteria in the poo eats the poo. But the other thing I'm really looking for is the general health and colour of the fish. And it has absolutely become my opinion that the cleanest food on the market is Spectrum's probiotics. But the food that I get the best real genuine colour out of is Danichi colour. So I really love to combine those two foods. So I'll generally feed Spectrum's probiotic basically every day, and then maybe once a week I'll give them some Danichi colour. I've also got a algae tab in there at the moment, and what that will do is just help to kill some of the algae off, particularly on these plants and rocks. Not something I do regularly, but every now and then. Algae fix or those sorts of products are quite good to keep the tank clean. Not something I'd rely on. These tinfoils are loving it. Currently we're draining the aquarium, doing a nice water change, giving the fish a really good feed. I want to see them get more of a belly